Hey, entrepreneur, hey, business owner, hey, influencer. Do you realize how important content creation is for your brand? Do you realize that if you begin to take it a little bit more serious, you can probably generate way more sales? Now, this is you having some type of strategy, some type of plan. So, we're going to be talking about all things content creation today. Got a special guest for you. Let's see, Lizzy on now. Hopefully, you saw that invitation come through, Lizzy. All right, so we're waiting on her to join. I don't know why Instagram acts crazy with this sometimes. When you send an invite, it doesn't always go through for some reason.
Hi.
All right, there we go.
Having a
What's
little
going
trouble
on,
with my
Lizzy? How are you?
tripod. I'm good. I'm trying to make sure it's not
Awesome,
gonna
awesome,
fall.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, thanks for taking some time to talk today. Can you tell the people who you are and exactly what you do?
Yeah, so hey guys, I'm Lizzy Plawton. I am a content creator. I have been creating content since 2006, officially online. And so I do help creatives and entrepreneurs with inward and outward creation. So I have like a cohort that I teach about social media and it's basically dives into your soul, but I also help with idea development. And yeah, I just create on all platforms you could ever think of.
That is awesome. So, what got you started initially?
Initially, I was bored with my life. I didn't really want to go to college, but I was going to community college and taking like fun classes. And so I started a blog called Admissions of a Mixed Girl. And it was on Blogger, which is a platform that's not even around anymore. And yeah,
Whatever
I just,
happened to it?
so it's an interesting story. I got to this point where I had like 40,000 followers at a certain point, and I was writing about how a lot of the hatred that I felt in my life were from my own people. So I'm Black and Native American.
Okay.
And yeah, so there was like girls that came in my comments and they literally said, not Black, not Black, not Black, not Black. Like they just started flooding my comments. And I was only 20 at the time. And so
Okay.
I was like, I can't deal with this.
That
Like,
rot you, huh?
yeah, like
Yeah,
every single post they were
I
coming
can
through to
imagine.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
get me off of it. So I actually shut that one down.
Okay.
That was like my first bad internet experience.
Okay. Gotcha. So then, did they end up shutting down because somebody ended up buying them? Like, what exactly happened with them not
So
being in existence?
Blogger, I think that they merged with like WordPress.
Okay.
So it was kind of like they had simple, it was just like one
Mhm.
page blogs and then
Gotcha.
WordPress took over. So I think they merged into WordPress.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about you. So where are you from? Where are you at right now? You out in
Yeah.
Cali?
Yes, so I'm from
Okay.
Southern California, born and raised. I'm in a suburb of LA, and
Okay.
it's called Claremont. And yeah, I basically grew up as the creative kid. I call myself a kid with a schedule. So I had like dance, theater, softball. I played the flute, like I was in
Yeah.
leadership, all those
Wow.
types of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm just a born and raised Southern California girl, but I've also lived in Chicago and North Carolina, and
Okay.
I travel often. I'm kind of what you would call a digital nomad too.
Mhm. Okay.
So I don't stay in California all year at this point in my
Gotcha.
life, but that's just a little bit about me. I love other places. I'll
Tell
move
us
if
your
it's good
favorite
food.
city.
My favorite city is Chicago, hands down.
Is it? Okay. I
Yeah.
like Chicago too.
Yeah, I love it
That's
there.
a dope vibe. And they get more vegan spots, so that's a win for me.
Oh, you're vegan? I
Yeah.
was raw vegan for a year.
Okay. How
Not
how was the
anymore.
process? How did you like it?
I liked it. I did it because I was very sick. I had chronic pneumonia,
Okay.
and I was on prednisone,
Mm.
and I used to weigh 275 pounds. So my followers got to watch me like detox my body and
Wow.
exercise and become healthy,
Okay.
and that whole journey. So that's why I went raw vegan because I saw a documentary where this radio host she got rid of cancer in her body from going raw vegan. So I was like, well,
Wow.
then this could cure me,
Right.
and it has. And so now like I've in total I've lost 177 pounds.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a blessing.
Yeah, it
That's a
is.
blessing.
It's such a blessing, but I've like also just documented it all, so it goes into like content creation.
Yeah, so you was doing like your Kanye.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I had
that's what's
three
up.
YouTube videos a day for 3 summers, you know?
That's what's up. All right, so let's get into content creation. Why do you think that it's so important for us as entrepreneurs, business owners, influencers?
I think it gives authenticity and relatability to your business. So whether you want people to know you and you want to live your life online, or you just want people to know your business, it's a good way to capture their attention and get them to buy into your brand, because there's so many people competing for them to buy. Let's say
Mm,
you sell journals, right?
yeah,
Like, so anybody could get a journal with a cute phrase on it, but if they attach it to, this is Manny's journal with this inspirational quote, they're going to be more likely to keep spending money with you
hmm,
and to actually believe in what you believe in. So I
yeah,
think creating content is necessary for business owners.
absolutely. And you know, one of the reasons why, Lizzie, I reached out to you and said, "Hey, I wanted to get you on this show, talking to my audience as well," because it seems like you kind of have this mindset of the importance of building a personal brand. And what I tell a lot of my clients, you know, even if you have this awesome, amazing six-figure, seven-figure business, they want to know you. The days of people like hiding and never showing their face, that is over with. Now, you know, I see a lot of people that will push marketing out and branding and say, you don't have to have a personal page. You can just have a business page. And the truth of the matter is, you definitely can. But the likelihood of that page growing, getting any attention in sales is going to be very, very hard, because we're coming in as a consumer saying, why should I care about your boutique? Like, we got the best clothing in the whole state of North Carolina. Okay, that's great, but what else? Our stuff is natural. It's organic. Like, okay, what else? Well, it's affordable. What else? It's like the only way to really signify yourself on Instagram, social media, period, is you bringing that real life element to who you are. And if you're gonna do it from the business, then you got to do that for the business. Like, talk about the employees, interview them, get them engaged. But like, I believe, well, like, I think that you believe, Lizzie. So I don't want to assume, but I think that you really believe in this importance of personal branding as well, right?
I do, and I think I have a perfect example of a company that you may or may not know of, but there's a company called Mini Dip, and they're actually in Target last year, but they are adult size kiddie pools.
Mm,
Okay, so when I first saw it, it was just a business page. It was just promoting the kiddie pools, and they're
yeah,
really like luxury looking things, right?
gotcha,
Like,
gotcha.
okay, it's cute, like it could be a vibe in your backyard, but
Mm-hmm.
the moment that they decided to tell their story was the
Mm-hmm.
moment that they became larger, and then they got in Target, which is
Wow,
huge to have a
wow,
national deal in Target and
wow.
special edition come out every year,
Yeah.
because they're from Chicago. They were living in the south suburbs where there was no pool, and they created a pool for
Mm.
adults to get in because the kids run around and they have their space.
And see, that's a dope story.
And it changed everything for them,
Yeah.
and now they have this national brand deal in Target.
Wow.
So I think it's so important for you to realize that whatever you're trying to hide is hurting you, as well as preventing you from maybe even getting in spaces. Your story is what attaches people to why they want to purchase from you. They want to relate to, do I understand or see this business owner's point of view, perspective? Can I empathize with their situation? Can I be inspired by their inspiration? Like, what is it that they want to know about the story of you? I think that we're on the same page with it, because so many people think like, oh, I can just post cute graphics. That's not enough anymore. It wasn't before, but now it certainly
Facts. Facts. Go in, Lizzie. Give us some more of that. Keep
is.
talking
Yeah,
about that.
I think for, you to look at authenticity, right? I say this on my page all the time. The definition in Merriam-Webster is worthy of acceptance. And so if you're having a hard time finding your audience and being accepted by an audience, you have to find where you're not being 100% authentic.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute to look a certain way. It's good to have an aesthetic, but the thing that will attract people to you is who you actually are, or what your business represents. So if you don't have a strong story behind why you created the product, right? Like tomorrow I'm dropping a book on my birthday, and it is a passion project of mine because I love outfit of the days, but I like love helping women feel beautiful and powerful at the same time, right? Like that goes through everything that I do. And so people are going to know, okay, this is Lizzy and this is what she represents, but also I can learn from her in that. But if you don't have a connection to your product, you're just saying, oh, I'm putting out a digital product, or I just have a podcast because I like to talk. That's not enough of a storytelling, right? So I would encourage you guys to really look at what is the baseline of why I started my brand, and how can I communicate that in a way that will have people understand, receive, and then therefore pass the message on, right? You want people to share your story. You want to get it to them in a way where they're going to be able to say, I am so passionate about what Manny's talking about. I'm passionate about what Lizzy's talking about. I got to tell somebody else to come look at this thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's so real what you're saying, because the success of me as a business owner has really come from me really leaning in to emphasize the clients. You got to tell your story. I created this framework called the Btb Method. If you all just taking notes, write that down. Btb Method. It stands for bring value, tell your story, build relationships. Real simple. But when you do that effectively, you no longer have to worry about sales, because literally people will be asking you, where is your product? How can I spend money with you? Because you're giving them the things that they really desire, and it's no longer about you. For those that don't realize this, when you talk about building a brand, you're really building your reputation, because at the end of the day, the individual that perceives your brand, your business, this is their perception. So that is your brand. Whatever they think, it's not exactly what you say, it's whatever they say. But it goes back to whatever you're showing them on a consistent
Mm-hmm.
basis. But if you can get really, really great at storytelling, Lizzy, are you hip to that book by Donald Miller, Story Brand?
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay, check it out. It's right on YouTube for free. Like you can just listen
Okay.
to it. But within that book, he talks about how you have to almost treat it like it's a movie. Like let's just say it's like Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man the homie too. I
Yeah.
like Spider-Man. Shout out to Spider-Man. If you watch a Spider-Man, shout out to you. But what I really love about Spider-Man is like he's always having a guide behind the scenes, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
never him just saving the world by himself. Like he needs to get some special weapons, some armor. He need to be able to get that game from somebody to say, "Hey, go over here, don't do this," all of that. This is the way that we have to be with our customers, our clients. We're not going to be the hero. We need to paint them as the hero. They need to be able to show up in their life and save the day, save their family, save their finances, get their health together, whatever the case. But you are the person behind the scenes. Think about like Samuel L. Jackson with the Avengers. Like he's working behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
giving the game, and then they go out and save the day. But without having that guide, sometimes they're hopeless. So this is
Yeah.
the main reason why you have to start showing up, not just saying what exactly you do for your business, but tell us that you're good at making smoothies in the morning. Tell us that you love eating weird foods that nobody else in the world like, and guess what's gonna happen? All the weird people gonna gravitate towards you because they gonna be like, "Oh my God, I didn't know there was nobody else out here like that."
Yeah, that's so
But you
real.
got to give it to them. So, Lizzy, why do you think that people shy away from it?
I think people are afraid of the negative comments, trolls. I think people are afraid of not um, being received, or people talking about insecurities. It's one of the major things that I try to teach people on my platform. Like, I'm so savage with it that I literally made a list of things that I didn't like about myself. Like,
Wow.
and I said,
Yeah.
okay, these are the things that the trolls are going to say about me. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just very transparent about that, right? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they're going to talk about my teeth, because my teeth, I have like crooked teeth in the front, like I need a bag to get that fixed. I looked at, I make a lot of lists, right? So I
Uh-huh.
put things
Uh-huh.
in a column and I said, what can I do about it now? What
Yeah.
are they going to say? And I
Mm-hmm.
resolved it. But I think that for
Wow.
a lot of you, you're not
Mm-hmm.
taking the time to process even stuff that you may be dealing with self-hatred within yourself. And so then you're afraid someone else is going to see it, or someone else is going to reject it, or
Yeah.
people are not going to come along and like it, when in
Mm-hmm.
actuality, the like is the least thing that you need. Like, likes have done nothing for me. The thousands of dollars I've made online are because people engage with me as a person.
Yeah.
And so I think that's their separation, is
Yeah.
their insecurities, their fears. about not being received, but there
Facts.
are people for you. Every
Yeah.
single person, there's a tribe for you. Like, you don't have to worry.
Facts. And truth of the matter is, like what she's saying is real. There is a tribe and a customer base for every single person. If you that person that love the Ninja Turtles and you think you Leonardo and you be jumping around the house playing all these different games, like record them videos. Somebody wants to see that. There is an audience for you. You can be the Ninja Turtle coach and help people progress their life being a Ninja Turtle in real life. Like there's so many amazing things that you can do, but it's like you have to tap in, letting go of that fear that if somebody sees my insecurity, they're going to like me less. Guess what? Even if they did like you less, they still weren't paying your bills anyway. So who really cares?
Right? Or I'll tell people like there's points where I've cared. Like one time I was featured on a YouTube channel that had over 1 million subscribers. And I mean, these people tore me up in the comments. Like, why would you have
Wow.
this fat girl? She has a double chin. Like it was horrible. Oh, what is her
Wow.
outfit? Beetlejuice, right? And so I literally like had to sit there and be like, okay, I'm not gonna go through all these comments, first of all.
Hmm.
But second of all, like I am speaking about a message that's important to me. There are people in the comments that receive the message, and I actually care that people felt that way about me. But once I said that I cared, I was able to release it and move on past it. But I think sometimes we try to keep this barrier of us up, like, oh, I'm the tough guy, or it's cool. And it's
Hmm.
like, no, sometimes stuff on social media
Yeah.
hurts,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't stop you from pressing record because there are far more people that will get gems from you and
Hmm.
treasure and powerful messaging and even products that they need. Like they need you in their life more than those people that come to say negative things about you. So it
Facts.
can't be about you caring about your feelings all the time. So like I have this thing called a soul tracker, and I teach my mentees to like write down what's happening in their day to day if something impacts them on social media, and there's a spot for them to journal about it and a bunch of questions for them to process what happened.
Hmm.
And I found that if you take the time to do those types of things, then you're not going to carry it with you and be like, oh, I hate Instagram. Oh, I hate YouTube.
Right.
Oh, I hate being a business online. Like when I see business owners say that, like it literally pains me because I'm like, that's the main connection point to your people. So when you're putting that out there,
Yeah.
you're already putting a wall
Yeah.
up. It's like, get away.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
wants that.
Wow. And that's so dope. That's so dope what you said. And I think that people don't even realize it. It's like where your attention goes, that's where your energy flows. So if you're putting
Mm,
this negative energy out there and saying, I don't like this platform, it's not working for me, I hate it, then literally it's not like there's a big bad Instagram man or woman, but because you put that out there, naturally, I believe God is like, I can't bless her here because she doesn't want to be there. Like she doesn't want any sales there because she just says she hates it. She just continued to say for like the fifth time, this is not working for me. I'll never get any sales from Instagram. So you literally just put that out in the universe and acting like I'm not going to receive that back. Come on, y'all. And this is all still talking about content creation because we got to deal with some of the reasons why you guys aren't posting, why you can't show up, why you feel the need to hide behind Canva. Listen, Canva is the homie, but don't hide behind Canva. Show up.
yeah, show up. Sometimes you're hiding because you're fear of success too. I
Mm,
want to put that out there because I feel like there's some people that may watch that have a certain level of success, but them showing up with their face in the next level of their story may take them higher, and they're not sure how they'll be able to deal with that. But I feel like it's something that you have to practice and maybe practice with a consistent plan,
yeah,
right? So if you are used to posting those Canva posts, maybe try once a week, you be consistent, show up on Wednesdays, a video of you, a
yeah,
reel of you. Don't overwhelm yourself with going from nothing to like 3 to 5 reels a day,
for sure.
because if you already don't like being there, you need to
Yeah,
practice.
yeah.
It's okay to practice. Practice consistency, and then as the demand increases for you, put the more content out there.
That's great advice. That's really great advice. And I'll tell you guys something. One of the main reasons why um, I started back the Manny Hall show because I had this thing going here locally here in Cleveland. I was actually showing up to people's spots and interviewing them, but
Oh,
I was like, I
cool.
can't keep traveling all around the country like this. This is not going to work long term. So Since I don't have some big old dope studio, I was like, you know what? I need to actually show up more on live videos. So what better idea for me to just interview some dope people all around the world where they don't have to leave home, I don't have to leave home, and we just show up and do it. And then I save it and I convert it over to a YouTube video. Done. That easy, y'all. So dealing with me wanting to do more videos on Instagram, this is an easy way to do it. And now I don't have to do it by myself. I can have some really dope guests that I can vibe with, have great conversations, and guess what? The algorithms are automatically working in my favor. Because guess what they're saying? It's not a person, y'all. It's not a person. I know some of y'all saw Space Jam and y'all seen Algae Rhythm. That's not how it is in real life. There's no guy behind the scenes. It's the algorithm guy. But the system is literally picking up. Man, he keep going live, so we got to show more people his live. When I would say about a year ago, Lizzie, I would do live videos. And I have about 2 people watching consistently, about 2 people.
Yeah.
But the more consistent I became, again, now the algorithms is working in my favor. So for those that was like struggling, thinking about likes and comments, the more you show up in an organic way, what will happen, Lizzie? Just tell them. What will
Yeah.
happen
I
is they
mean,
stay a little bit more consistent.
the way when you become more consistent, it does two things. So the algorithm is going to find your favor, right? Because it's like, oh, you're getting airtime on the platform for them. So you
Yeah,
always have to think what platform you're on, what they want from you being
yeah,
there. So if you're there and you're consistently getting people to engage with your content, likes come last, right?
yeah,
So comments, shares, and saves are big,
yeah,
even on live. So like after this live is done, all your people should come on, comment, they should double tap it because all these comments go away,
yeah,
right? That's just another
yeah,
way they can engage with
yeah.
it. But the second thing that happens is that you build a strong trust bond with your audience. I don't even know if Manny knows this part of my story, but when Periscope came out, I started from 0 followers and I went live every day for a year.
Wow.
So yeah,
Every day?
every day
Wow.
every day for a year. I end up with like I think at the end they shut down the app, so at the end I had like around 8,000 something followers.
Nice.
But I literally engaged that platform so well. And the thing was, at the time I had a Patreon, so I also had a salary on Patreon from my Periscope followers.
Mm.
Some of the people that are still with me today that literally buy my products, that donate for different missions that I have, are from that Periscope following.
Wow.
But I
Wow.
said I was going to be there. And it actually started with me just doing 30 days, right? I was talking to 0 people for
Mm.
like 30 days, Manny. So,
Wow.
like
Are
how
you
you're saying
serious?
that
Hold on.
too.
Hold on, Lizzie. Zero
Yeah,
people and you stayed
0 people.
consistent?
Yes.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
I'm that person that like was like, okay, these videos save, they archive. And so I would post on my Instagram every day. I would post on Facebook, like other places, Twitter. I'd be like, hey, I'm
Mhm.
going live on Periscope. No one would show up. No one show up. And then I met a friend that I have in Chicago, and he had kind of a bigger following, so he invited all his followers.
Wow.
Then a couple other people invited their followers. So then I was like at like 10 people, and I was like, okay, cool, right? But it kept growing and growing and growing. And then people were telling me I'm watching a replay, but I was taking them with me every day in life, or I was doing cooking lives and
Mm.
having playlists, right? And so
Wow.
after the 30 days, my friends made a bet with me. He's like, you did 30 days, but I bet you can't do a year. I was like, I bet, let's do it, And I only had one time that I almost didn't go live because I was having a really bad day. And my friend called and said, hey, you got like 20 minutes to get it together. Get your tail online.
Right, right.
And so I went live and I told him, you know what, I'm having the worst day ever, but like I said, I would show up. And so
Mm.
I feel like when I launched my first premium course, it was a 5K course. 2 people that I met from Periscope on that year that I went live purchased that course and was
Mm.
in it with me. And so
Yeah,
that trust that I built, because
yeah,
Lizzie said she was going to be there, she was there.
yeah,
That's what's in their mind.
yeah.
They also got to know me as the person that didn't have the glam on, right? Because I couldn't glam every day. Like
Mm-hmm.
they saw me in my kitchen, they saw me walking, they saw me going to the gym, they saw me going to church. Like I taught them things. I taught them flash sales on social media and just all of this. Like, so I'm not saying you should do a year, but I am saying that if you could just do 30 days, no matter who shows up,
Mm.
you can archive that.
That
Because
sounds
I
like
have
a
over,
challenge. That sounds
yeah,
like a challenge, yo.
I am challenging your audience because I feel like for me, like I have over 400 videos from that on my YouTube. And like I pull from it whenever I want to do whatever and show people
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like,
Wow.
30
That's
days.
really
You can
dope.
do 30 days.
That's really dope. And you know what? Now, like what you said about like just showing up and not caring like how the background was looking or where you was in your kitchen. And it's like we
Hmm.
have these thoughts that if they see an imperfect part of me, they won't want to buy anything because they're going to realize that I'm not perfect. Sometimes that's the reason that they want to buy from you is because you are presenting yourself as an imperfect person so they feel like they can relate more to you than some of these people that will post a pretty awesome, amazing, clean white kitchen every single time that they post. It's like everything is always clean. Like I haven't seen a spot ever on your kitchen. Like everything is polished. That might seem
Uh-oh.
absolutely amazing, but we know that that's not easily relatable for everybody because most people are gonna have a dirty kitchen. I've seen some of the dopest videos on YouTube where the dude had a bunch of clothes in the back, stuff was
Yeah.
all tore up and junk. I was like, man. But after a while, I paid no more attention to the background. I was just tuned into him, like, well, shoot, bro, if you that confident with all that crazy stuff going in the back, I'm really about to listen to you because you don't care at all.
Well, I think it's like my top ranked videos are just I just hit record. And that's what I would love to tell people. You are tripping about something that I was at my friend's house in December, and the spare room has like watermarks on the ceiling, like when it rains
Yep.
and the ceilings kind of starts to get brown,
Hmm.
right? And I just hit record and I was talking and I'm like, hey, it's the day in the life of a 35-year-old entrepreneur, right? And people started messaging me saying, I don't go live or I don't record because I have that watermark on my ceiling. Thank you for showing that. Right?
Wow.
Like they're embarrassed about it because they're looking at the influencers that are huge and they've moved into these mansions or they have certain angles that they even do things from. They have a corner of their room that they made perfect and the rest of the
Hmm.
room is trash and you never see that.
Yep.
So I think like it's just important for you to know the stuff that's in your daily life that looks like a mess is what people have. People have dishes.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's crazy.
Yep. It's so crazy. So, along your journey as you've been helping clients really understand the importance of content, like how is it that you help them? Is it more so like from the perspective of guidance or do you do some implementation?
So I used to do a lot more implementation, but I think in this season I'm doing a lot of guidance or idea development, right?
Hmm.
So I love to take a concept. So if I'm working with someone that wants to have a podcast and they're just
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm just going to turn it on and talk, I'm like, let's work on some segments. Like,
Gotcha.
let's zero that down and narrow it into that. I also do a lot of consulting for like actual vision plans, right? Strategic plans. So not necessarily like day to day, the consistency or the hacks that you can learn
Right.
online, but
Right.
more so that deep dive into your brand. So I would
Yep.
also do that with churches
Okay.
and I'll go in and I'll say like, hey, this is how you should position from your mission statement
Hmm.
and build an archetype for them. So like I say, like my archetype is like the glam girl who's also into nerdy things and into reading and like she's the girl that wants to wear heels but she also likes to play video games, right? Like I built a whole character so that I can speak to that character
Hmm.
on my platform. In
Right.
each lane that I help people with content creation when it comes to creatives or entrepreneurs, I have an archetype. So
Yeah.
I kind of help people come up with those things rather than just how to make a reel or how to like post,
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's important to do it that way, especially for me. So we are a marketing agency, but we specialize in branding. And the reason why we specialize in branding because I've seen so many people just market trash because they didn't have a plan or a strategy. So it's like they
Yeah.
still don't get any sales. So let's take a step back and think about how your brand is being portrayed. But I like what you said about creating that for each client, even the church, because then the pressure is off of what I'm going to display to my audience because I was already in the strategy.
Yeah, I think like if you don't have identity, then you don't have a good base. And
Hmm.
a lot of times with what you do too, like the branding aspect, you're looking for identity. So I know that backwards and forwards. And when I look at someone else's brand, I'm able to say, okay, these are the ideas that you can put out there that will communicate with that. Sometimes
Yeah,
as creatives, we want to bounce all over the place and we have so many passions and things that we like to do, but like giving your audience clarity,
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
complete and total clarity of your identity is going to draw them closer and make them buy in. Again, you're building trust.
Yeah.
And when you break trust with your audience, you have to kind of start over in a sense of bonding again, because now subconsciously they've been like, okay, well, they didn't show up. So what am I doing? What are we doing? Should I even look for it? Like, I have people that if I don't post past, like, if it gets like 3 p.m. my time, there are people that are just followers that will inbox me and be like, hey, are you feeling okay today?
Are you
Like, is
serious?
everything
Wow.
okay? Yeah, because like they've actually, well, this is the two-edged sword, because I
Okay.
actually do have a restraining order against someone. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, in other situations, these people just actually care. Like, they're like,
Hmm.
oh, like they feel like I'm their friend, or
Yeah.
they're like, they really look forward to what I'm posting.
Hmm.
And I think that we don't think about it like that. Like, your content could be bringing someone joy, and that's why they're going to buy in more.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Lizzie. Like, this is one thing that I learned a few years back is there was a person that just kept liking my comments. I mean, liking my posts all the time. I'm like, okay, I keep saying the name. Like, thanks for the love. I appreciate it. But you're not buying anything. So it's like, what do you want me to do? Send you some balloons to your house? But because you keep liking my stuff, I appreciate it. But moving on, right?
Yep.
But later, this person told me that I impacted their life in such a way that I literally changed their family dynamic. I gave them the courage to start a business.
Mm.
They were feeling overwhelmed and stressed out, but I gave them tactics and strategies on how to let go of all that stuff and really show up. And I said, wow, like that happened. And then that person paid some money on top of all that. So it was just like a win. So it's like, I'm saying this to say, guys, don't minimize the likes at all. It might be 2 likes, but you have no idea the impact that you're really making. And on some of these people that never actually hit like at all. But they're like,
Yeah.
man, that was so good, Lizzie. Thanks for posting that. But within the time I'm putting my hands on my head, I never hit like I forgot. And I
Yeah.
moved on to something else. Or the person that's like literally scrolling through your page for like an hour and just like reading all your stuff, but they never hit like on any of them. And I'll tell you, I've done it to some of my favorite people on Instagram. I'm just sitting there scrolling, like looking at stuff like, man, this person is phenomenal. But I don't have the time to just hit like on all of them because I'm
Yeah.
consuming, you know?
Yeah, I think it's bingeable content, right?
Yeah.
So, my Instagram would never take anything down, and a lot of marketers hate that about me. But I feel like my audience, like my IGTV, is stacked. In the pandemic in 2020, I did a series called Preach Princess,
Mm.
and people still go listen to it to this day, and they'll
Nice.
just binge the whole thing. And all
Right.
I was doing was preaching Disney princesses and saying like, hey, these men out here like to say don't be a princess. Well, like Rapunzel went and got her man, like. It was just talking about that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but my
Mm-hmm. I got
audience
you.
loved it, right?
Wow.
And they even sponsored me to go on a trip to Vegas. I got my photographer friend out there. She popped in earlier. Her name's Tia Brianna. She took pictures of me in a Preach Princess dress. Like, I
Nice.
got
Nice.
a Black Label Bradley Miska dress. My followers sponsored that trip. And it's still there. So sometimes people come through and they're like, oh, they'll inbox me. I listened to all the Preach Princesses. I watched all the replays,
Mm.
right? And it's like you're thinking that catalog means nothing, but in actuality, even with my YouTube channel, the hundreds of videos I have there, if all of a sudden tomorrow I got 100,000 followers, they would have so much content to watch, and that therefore would make my revenue go up
Oh
because
yeah.
my views would be going up.
Quick
So
too.
you want to
Mm-hmm.
build. You want to build bingeable content, like how you sit on Netflix and binge. Think about content creation in that way, in video format on these platforms.
And this is going back to the point about, and we got it. We have to kind of talk about some brand development because y'all, this is what I do,
Yeah.
right? And I'm sure Lizzie, this is what she does too. But this is why it's important when you think about documenting that you get to this place that you can show up, that you're not concerned about people's opinion, whether they like you or not. I heard Nas say something a while back that he said he doesn't get too excited when great things happen, and he doesn't get too sad when bad things happen. And I was like, man, that's a really great perspective to have, just having this even keel. But if you can show up, think about somebody like Kanye. You think that he was concerned with, oh man, my outfit probably don't look the best. I'm at my mama's house and it probably look junky. Like opening up the refrigerator. I don't know if you saw that, Lizzie. There
Yeah,
was
I did.
nothing
Yeah.
in the refrigerator. I'm
There's
like,
nothing in the
oh
refrigerator.
shoot. Like Kanye, you had to be making at least 50,000 by now. You couldn't buy your mom
Hmm.
some food to put in the refrigerator, but that was documentation, so it doesn't matter what my opinion was or anybody else's. He's still where he is, and none of that really mattered. So we need to just start showing up. Just put the content out there where nobody's paying attention. Look, here's a really crazy part, and I'm gonna say this in front of everybody, right? This is really crazy, Lizzy. Last Saturday, I decided after reading Traffic Secrets. So if you ain't never read that, definitely check that out. Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. While reading this book, I got this really dope idea. I'm about to get the Manny Hall show back up and running. So I'm about to reach out to all these people. When I reach out to you, you were
Hmm.
one of the people I reached out to. So I'm gonna reach out to all these people and say, "Hey, want you to be on the show." In that process, a part of me started to have a little bit of doubt and fear. Like, wait a minute, man, you need to slow down. Like, some of these people got blue check marks. Some of these people got 150,000. Like, they ain't checking for your 25,000. And if they go to your YouTube page, you probably got 283 subscribers and averaging like 2 views. So, like, why are they checking for you, Manny? But here's what happened. Since I've been building myself up so much in terms of confidence and knowing who I am and loving myself, I sent the message out to the people and the doubt came, but it was too late. It was too slow. Like it didn't catch me fast enough. It already did the action. So if
Yeah.
we can get to the point, y'all, where we're walking into our dreams, and then let me finish the story. These people start responding back to me. One lady, I forgot her name, really, really dope. She's gonna be on the show next week. She got 150,000 followers, blue check mark. She follows me and is like, I would love to be on the show. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? But it's me showing up in a genuine way, and I had no idea how many people thought Manny was really dope. You have no idea how many people think you dope, but you won't even show up because you think that they don't think you dope. Come on, y'all. I'm not
That's
trying to rap.
facts. No, that's facts though. And I think what I love about that is like I looked at your page when you hit me up and I was like, I like his vibe. That's only, like that's really why I responded. Like I saw a few mutual people and then I was like, yeah, I'll respond first and I'll ask my mutual friends like
Mm-hmm.
what it is. But I think like that's the funny thing. So I'm gonna say on here, like I only have like 1,900 followers on here, guys. Like a follower count has never stopped me from anything. I just did a long live the other week about brand sponsorships, and I will ask and pitch to brands that people will never have the audacity to. But I want to inspire you to have the audacity to say
Yep.
that
Yep.
my idea is so dope that I'm going to pitch this to you guys and I'm going to negotiate my worth. Like, I charge for people to post content on my page when I'm sent a dress, like, that comes with a rate card. It doesn't matter that I only have 1,900 followers because my worth isn't equating to that number up there,
Exactly.
right? It's really
Exactly.
good to have it. And oh, hey, Prophet Josh. It's really great to have it. And it's really amazing to reach more people. But I think our reach, right? If you look in your insights, like right now, everything's in the green. And I've been talking about my friend Micah Butler because since I've been doing his strategies, like he has had all of my numbers in the green. And literally from those insights, I was able to garner more sponsorship money and more brand deals with Windsor, Forever 21, like these major companies where I had gotten small amounts from them. But it's literally having the audacity to ask. Ask and you shall receive. Like that, it's just a simple, basic principle. But sometimes we're waiting for the blue check mark, or like we're thinking, oh, well, who's going to look at my page with only this much?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you have to be able to recognize the power behind your brand, who you are, and show up as that no matter what people may discount in a vanity metric. Because to be honest, some people have those vanity metrics, but their followers don't engage.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta weigh the checks and balances, like what is quantifiable and what is not. And honestly, the power behind my insights is what gets me the access to the funds.
Yep, that's facts. And I'll tell you guys, I've had clients that come to me with thousands and thousands of followers, 30,000, 50,000, 75,000, but they weren't making any money. Because you growing followers and getting likes and comments, it definitely can improve your self-esteem if that's what you're shooting for. Now, if that's the case, I pray right now that you would get 1 million followers so you can finally feel that you're awesome. And after you get that, tell me what you really want. Because for too
Yeah,
many of us,
no.
it's like we look at that social currency as actually money that you can trade in and go buy groceries for your family and pay bills. Like you can't do it.
No, because even if you try to crowdfund, right? Like pay if you have a Patreon or some kind of format like that, subscriptions, you have to have a connection with those followers.
Hmm.
Also, like a lot of people just allow the bots to stay. Me and some of my friends, like we literally remove the bots. So like it makes your follower count go down, but also you're not going to be at risk of getting hacked, and you shouldn't be wanting it to fill this space because the genuine connection is actually building your engagement, and that's what Instagram's even looking at with the algorithm.
Facts.
So like
Facts.
you don't have badges yet, but you should be getting badges soon with as much as you've been going live.
Yeah, they actually they gave me badges probably about, I would say about 8 or 9 months ago now.
Oh,
But
cool.
when they gave it to me, I was like, okay, what the heck is this? And I didn't even know how to use it, how to even talk about it. But lo and behold, like these past 2 months or so, people have bought badges. One lady bought like a
Okay.
dollar 35 cents. I was really excited about. I was like, yes, I got me a badge. But you just got to start small. But I think that the reality is like just tapping in more, guys. You have
Hmm.
more opportunities to win, and you can't trip about your content. Yes, you're gonna have some grammar mistakes too. Like sometimes I look back on a reel, especially, I can't wait till they have the option that
Edit.
you can edit the reel, because some of my
Yeah.
reels captions be jacked up, y'all, and I'd be like, oh shoot, I gotta delete this. But it's like, no, the video was too dope. Like I just gotta get past it.
Yeah, like I just think it's small stuff that we do on a regular basis. It's fine. Like just let that water run off your back.
Yeah.
I think I have an interesting story about Reels. So I was just randomly uploading Reels to Facebook, right? Because I do Reels on Instagram every day. So I started uploading them on Facebook on my personal page because I'm like, oh, there's people over here that might want to see it, but I don't like Facebook very much. In December, like it's just not my thing, but I'm
Uh-huh.
like, it's fine. In
Yeah.
December, I got to the Facebook Reel bonus play program, but I did
Mm.
not make it on Instagram. The
Wow.
platform that I'm on all the time, they did not invite me. But
Wow.
guess what? Every month now, I'm getting a check from Facebook for
Wow.
posting my reels, and all of it is the plays as the plays go. So I had a salad reel. I was making a salad, and it went up to 20K, like in 2 days, right? That's
Wow.
nothing though. As
Yeah.
far as viral, that's very small.
Yeah.
But Facebook paid me for that, and then Sprouts gave me a sponsorship because I went and said, hey, I was making a salad with groceries from your store. So it hit 20K. They sent me some money to buy some more salad stuff and make posts like that. So you
Wow.
never know with your consistency of
Yeah.
what you're doing, but you may sit there, somebody on here may be at 500 followers. Maybe you have 190 followers, right? And you're like, well, what's the value proposition of posting? Because the more consistency that you're putting into the platform, they'll recognize you. The big creators, they fall off and on all the time, right? So you have to show up in these spaces, and it could drive people to your business. Imagine if you're a nutritionist and you did that, and how many deals can come to you, plus the platform paying you. So now every month I can depend on Facebook is paying me per view. So you better believe that those reels are going up there first.
This is dope. This is dope stuff, y'all. This is dope. Lizzie, I think I might invite you to my mastermind group to talk to them too.
Oh,
We're
cool.
gonna
Yeah.
talk offline about that. But listen, y'all getting some great stuff. I hope that y'all are taking notes. I hope that you guys are taking notes. Please, 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 because this is the type of content that you're getting right now at no cost. At
Right.
no cost. Now you think, well, yeah, Instagram is free, but it's actually not free. See, you're giving Instagram your time and attention. That's what you're paying them all the time. And they know that that is actually worth much more than the dollars that you would spend. Some people start tripping about, well, what if they start charging $99 a month? And what will I do then? I have to pay for that. Listen, stop tripping. I don't think they're going to do it. But even if they did, I feel like it would still be worth it for the amount of capital that you can gain from being on a platform like this with millions and millions of people that you can have access to. Come on, y'all. Lizzie, give them any last words that you got. And then after that, tell them like anything that they can, support you on and buy from you.
Okay, so yeah, I would just encourage you guys to like, we've been saying this whole time, just hit record, just show up, even if it's for practice, right? So even with lives, there's a practice feature now. And I didn't have that when I started going live, okay? It was
Right.
just whoever came in was going to come in, but you can invite a few friends to that and you can have it where it's not public. And then if you are brave enough, you can switch it to public. If you want to learn how to vlog or you want to try talking to the camera about a subject, just keep hitting record, right? Try something, send it to a friend that's actually positive. Like, make a plan, set a deadline, get your content out there. Because I feel like if you don't really nail down onto it, you're actually going to let another year go by. It's
Mm.
already March, it's almost April. Like, the first quarter's done, right? So you got 2 more chances to really push some things out and make a difference because 2023 is right around the corner. And I want you to like stay tapped into the people that serve you, right? So sometimes we're looking at the fancy things and some like, like Manny said, there's all these levels of different people, but like who's actually serving you? So coming onto a podcast like this and taking notes and implementing at least one thing, just one thing a day can actually change your social currency and change your network online. As far as things that I have coming up, tomorrow is my actual birthday, and I'll be releasing a book. It's called OOTD or hashtag OOTD. My first book, hashtag Glam Goals, will be on for free on my website tomorrow. And so if you want to purchase the book and you want to learn about being confident and how your style impacts everywhere that you go and
And
how,
Lizzy, if you got the website, can you put it in the chat and I'll pin it?
yeah, yeah. It is LizzyPlawton.com. So, yeah, everything is my name, guys. But those are the most major things I have coming up. If you follow me, then you'll be seeing when I have open enrollment for my social media cohort, and I only take 5 people per quarter right now. And so when that's going to be happening is more towards the summer, but I have tons of free stuff on my page. I love people to know that. Like, if you never purchase something from me, but you implement something that's in my IGTV, like I love to hear about it. I love for you guys to know that and support in any way that you can that, or even sending it to people. Like I'll tell you, even with this live, even if you don't share it in your stories, if you share it to individual people, that helps creators like us and business owners because that's getting us connected to other people. So thanks, Manny. I really appreciate it.
No problem at all. This was a really great conversation, and thanks for taking the time to talk.
Yeah.
All right. Peace and blessings, guys. We're out.